Hello everyone. In the previous video, we have gone through what is return of plaint and the procedure followed in a very simple way. So now let's see what is rejection of plaint. So Order 7, Rule 11 of the CPC deals with rejection of plaint. So these are the following cases in which a plaint is to be rejected. Now let's start the video. Clause A, where it does not disclose a cause of action. So when a plaint does not disclose a cause of action, then it is liable to be rejected. Secondly, where the relief claimed is undervalued and the plaintiff, on being required by the court to correct the valuation within a time to be fixed by the court, fails to do so. So when the plaintiff files a plaint and the relief claimed in the plaint is undervalued, then the court will ask the plaintiff or requires the plaintiff to correct the valuation within a time given by the court. If again he fails to correct the valuation, then his plaint will be liable to be rejected. Similarly, where the relief claimed is properly valued, that means not undervalued, properly valued, but the plaint is written upon paper insufficiently stamped, and the plaintiff, on being required by the court to supply the requisite stamp paper within a time to be fixed by the court, fails to do so. The fourth one, where the suit appears from the statement in the plaint to be barred by any law. Next, where it is not filed in any duplicate. Lastly, where the plaintiff fails to comply with the provisions of Rule 9. So now let's learn or remember these 6 points in a short method. So you have to only remember these 6 alphabets in order to remember the 6 points for rejection of plaint. CUIBDF. CUIBDF. C for cause of action, that means when the plaintiff does not disclose a cause of action. U, undervalued, when the plaint is undervalued and the court provides or fixes a time, then also the plaintiff fails to correct the valuation. I, insufficiently stamped. D, barred by any law. D, not filed in any duplicate, or the duplicate of the plaint is not filed. Lastly, F, failure to comply. Order 7, Rule 9. Order 7, Rule 9 says, serving of the copies of the plaint along with the summons plus with the requisite fees. So CUIBDF, you can remember like this. So friends, the rule of rejection is merely a procedure. All the statements in plaint are to be taken as true for arguments on preliminary issues as to whether the plaint discloses a cause of action or not. Then, for deciding whether the plaint discloses a cause of action or not, the court has to see only the averments in the plaint and the accompanying documents. So what is a cause of action? Cause of action means every fact which it would be necessary for the plaintiff to prove if traversed in order to support his right to judgment, or a bundle of facts which is necessary to be proved by the plaintiff in order to establish his case. So now let's come to the undervaluation. There cannot be any deliberate undervaluation. If the relief claimed is undervalued and the valuation is not corrected within the time fixed by the court, then the plaint must be rejected, and such rejection is a dismissal of the suit. Similarly, where a plaint is written upon paper insufficiently stamped, the court is bound to give the plaintiff some time to make good the deficiency. If again the plaintiff fails to do so or fails to make good the insufficiency, then it is liable to be rejected. Fourth, rejection where suit is barred by any law. So where a suit appears to be barred by the law of limitation, but the plaint is not rejected when presented, the court may allow the plaint to be amended at the hearing. Where the plaint appears to be barred by time, even after considering the averments of the acknowledgement of the debt in the plaint, then the plaint can be rejected. The plaint has to be filed in duplicate, and when it has been not been filed in the duplicate, the court can reject the plaint at the time of the admission. This subclause was inserted in Amendment Act of 1999. Lastly, failure to comply with Order 7 Rule 9. So now let's come to the proviso of this rule. It says time fixed by the court for correction of valuation or supplying the requisite stamp paper shall not be extended. So when the time can be extended? Only when, firstly, the court is satisfied that plaintiff was prevented by exceptional causes for correcting the valuation or stamp paper within the time fixed. Secondly, if the refusal to extend the time would cause grave injustice to the plaintiff, and while allowing the extension of the time period, the court shall record the reasons for allowing the extension time. So this is all about rejection of plaint under Order 7 Rule 11 of CPC. Hope you will like it.